pretty interesting full circle moment to see Spencer say, look, that big city life is not for me at this point in time. I'm here to build this program alongside an excellent athletic director. And that's right on cue, actually. We got our guy, JD. Hey.
What's up,
welcome
guys?
to the show. We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
So we were just, to get you up to speed, talking about, interviewing Spencer Danielson this week on the coaching carousel in college football, and him saying, I kind of like what we're doing here. I've got a vision of where we're headed, and a lot of that comes in conjunction with an athletic director. And I was wondering if you could just kind of speak to that relationship you built with Spencer Danielson, and especially being an athletic director, you see what's happening in the world of college football with these coaches.
100%. That relationship with your president and your head football coach and your head men's basketball coach is extremely important. And I'm so grateful, guys, for Spencer and even Leon. Every year we're navigating this. You got to really want to be a Bronco. And I have an unbelievable team, and it doesn't mean it doesn't change in the future, right? But when I talk to Spencer and how honest and authentic our relationship is, we have no secrets. I just am so grateful as an athletic because that's not always the case. So anytime there's issues, anytime there's opportunities, anytime a call is made, Spencer's the first one to call me and say, FYI, JD. And I'm the same way with them. And that's just really built over the course of time. You got to trust the people in your foxhole. You got to lock arms with them. And Spencer and I both believe in Epic. And I believe we make a great team, and I'm very grateful for him.
So in terms of just that relationship, it's so difficult to find authenticity anywhere in sports anymore. We were talking earlier, it seems like loyalty is one of those kind of long lost traits, but
100%.
Here in Boise, we can look past the money. We want to build something authentic and from the ground up here.
Right.
How difficult is it to find people like that to be a part of that vision?
It's not easy, that's for sure, but you hit it on the head. And I think we're part of the problem. When you think about the transfer portal, when you think about how kids are brought up. I have little kids. Everyone gets a trophy. If you're not playing, you switch teams. The ability to work hard and grind it out and prove to yourself and others that you are the best, it's getting lost. And that's something here that is important to us. And we are trying to do our very best in preparing our student athletes for life. And I got to find people that want to be in that foxhole with me. And we have a lot of those people. And it's not just our coaches. It's people like Chris Coots. It's people like Cody Gogler. Everyone here, because of the things that we are doing, and it takes a team, they are getting offered all the time. And we have these conversations, and it just makes me proud that their belief in me and the opportunity I have to lead a place like this, you have to really want to be a Bronco. And it means something more to us, and we represent something bigger than ourselves. And when you can have people like that around you, you can still continue to build and discipline and coach and hold accountable, and using like a Gage Casey and an Ashton Genty and a Tyson Degenhart.
Heads up.
Ooh, these,
woo! Yeah.
Oh man, that's live TV. Oh man, where's our cameraman for that?
That's gonna be a headache for later.
Yeah, let me go.
Let me
grab some. Yeah, that was right on the
concussion protocol.
Can I get one of those
we got
helmets?
a great health and wellness team. You can bring them over. This is 2 interviews in a row that the Cannon last week that I thought I lost my life.
Yeah.
And now this. Yeah, I like how he said, like, "Hey, watch out!" As it's hitting your head.
I went to grab it. I just couldn't reach over you.
I'm not here for that.
I'll just say, like, I'm grateful for people like Ashton Genty and people like Spencer, people like Tyson Degenhart, and we have them across the board. And and I think that's why we've been able to hold on to a lot of people and not necessarily be impacted by the transfer portal. It matters here, and I think that holistic approach that we have to our staff, our student athletes, our supporters, people are our greatest asset, and that is a part of the culture that we are building off of that will impact us and our success moving forward.
Listen, when you get offers, when you get people in your inbox, obviously it's flattering, but it means you're doing something right here. It means you're building things correct. Let's talk about Spencer Danielson some more, a guy who has never lost a conference game. I'm going to kind of transition to the football game here.
Yeah.
How deep is this rivalry for you guys? Haven't had the milk can in a couple of years. How deep does this rivalry go back? How important is it for you guys? Obviously, every game's important. I know that. But I'm talking about the specifics of this rivalry and the milk can and what it means.
Yeah, rivalry games are emotional. It's powerful in a lot of ways. I know our fan bases really look forward to this game and excited about us both moving into the Pac-12 in the future. this is an important game for us, and every game matters, like you said, and it's a 1-0 mentality. Some games maybe matter a little bit more, and that's what a rivalry is, and that makes it really special because this is something that we have pride in. And I'm sure Garrett and that staff and Coach Ince, who's a great coach, they would say the same thing. For these type of games, you throw everything out, and your best hopefully is better than theirs. And I expect a great game today, and I know our guys are prepared. I know they've prepared, and I'm hoping it's a great game for Bronco Nation, and we come out on the winning side.
Undefeated Mountain West Conference for the girls soccer team.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. The tournament's obviously coming up. Hosting, they get the bye.
Yeah.
What can you say about that program from the start that they had, where everyone was like they're struggling a little bit at the start, and then to go undefeated in conference, and now we're here?
Yeah, soccer's an interesting sport because obviously you have ties, and early on in the season, it's like, we didn't lose, we just didn't win. And I hate ties. Like, as a competitor, and I bet soccer would say the same thing. Like,
right.
All right, let's just go to penalty kick, something.
Goal, something.
Yeah, something. But I'm so proud of what Jim and them have done. You come to Boise State to compete for championships, and it's that 1-0 mentality. Early on in the season, it's like, what are we? What will we be? How is conference going to go? And they just kept going back to work. And it started in the offseason. We lost some starters. We lost some student athletes to injury. But it's always what's next, and the next person's up. And I'm just really proud of the work that staff has done, and the work that our external bot has done to drive Bronco Nation to their matches, and the opportunity that we have ahead of hosting the Mountain West Championship. You look at soccer and football, we haven't lost the Mountain West game in quite a while.
It's been a few months, yeah.
And so that's important to us. And we're not always going to win the championship, but our goal is to compete every year. And we want to be a problem for everyone else. And that's a standard here. That's what it means to be a Bronco, and that's something we continue to push, and we're not going to back down from that. Every year, our goal is to win a championship, and we're going to continue to do that, and soccer's living it out in action.
All right.
Well said.
Yeah, I feel like that's as good a note as any to end it on. So I keep looking back. I'm like, is it gonna hit me?
I'm sorry. We'll bring you some ice. Or...
No, that'd be great. Yeah, I'll get to hang out with the medical staff today.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Hey, thank you so much for coming on.
You, man.
As always, it's
We
great
really
to flag you
appreciate
down.
it.
Thank you
you.
guys.
Go Broncos.
Thank you.